welcome, cyberpunks and retro nerds. We got a good old Dini movie review for you. Well, I mean, it's good compared to, Masters of the Universe or Mortal Kombat. Movies that I thought were good, turned out they were crap. Made for good movie reviews, I guess. But today I haven't actually, it's actually a good film. Tommy, back in the day, got me into this one when we were teenagers.
Your fault.
It's all Tom's fault. Back when Video 101 was a thing, we would go down and rent movies and get pizza and hang out in my mom's basement and good old times. But I also picked this movie because it's kind of COVID appropriate. So it's a depressing one, but it's a good one.
Damn.
It is 12 Monkeys.
Oh, okay.
All right, okay.
All right.
I'm always seeing the meme where it's like talking about how like all these movies like are kind of like appropriate for this day and age, and I never see 12 Monkeys being a part of that conversation. I don't know, I've been kind of sitting on this review for a while. Felt like it was a good time to bring it. Now is the time.
That's right. We like Terry Gilliam, so I'm going to be digging up the trailer. Beep that shit, motherfuckers.
Beep, 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 beep.
We'll be right back, guys.
Man has a vision of the future.
Wackos everywhere, plaguing madness.
Another dreams of living in the past.
I just want to do my part to get us back on top in charge of the planet.
Crazy as all.
Both men are dangerous.
5 billion people are gonna die!
But only one of them can stop the 12 Monkeys.
Too late. Too late.
Bruce Willis, Madeline Stowe, Brad Pitt. 12 Monkeys.
Alright, y'all, we just got back from watching 12 Monkeys, and I loved revisiting it. I don't know if everyone else was on their seats like I was, even though I've seen it a bunch of times. I really love this movie, and every time I watch it, it's great. Actually, there's a point in the movie where he's like, they're watching, they're at a theater, and he's like, the movie never changes, but you change. And I felt that a lot when I watched this movie. I don't know how you guys feel about the flick, but...
Well, I am a huge Terry Gilliam fan. I like a lot of his movies. I like his style. And this is arguably probably his most well-known in terms of 1990s cinema. I mean, it came out at the height of Bruce Willis's career, at probably the height of Brad Pitt's career, and I don't know, I hear a lot of people talk about it, there's a TV show and whatnot, and yeah, his style is definitely prominent in this film, visually speaking. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Terry Gilliam film. Maybe overindulges early on in terms of these two main actors. You got Bruce Willis, you got Brad Pitt, and they're playing such interesting characters that I feel like Terry Gilliam was like, go, and let him have it, especially during the mental ward scenes. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that at its core, you've got this sci-fi plot, and you kind of want to focus on it in terms of, a narrative and where it's going as a movie overall. You get kind of distracted by these eccentric characters and all these crazy camera angles and cinematography. So, depending on where you're coming from as a viewer, it might sway you.
So this is my second go-around with this film. I wasn't huge on it the first time I watched it, but I think that was also like straight out of high school. So it's been a few years. But I don't think I'm huge on it now either. And kind of for some of the reasons you just touched on. I think that a lot of the camera work is great. The score is as zany as the people within the film. And the performances are good too, but I feel like the narrative at the center is kind of like hollow. Like I don't have any emotional attachment to anything that's happening. I don't know how purposeful everything at the beginning is for this type of narrative that's going on. It's like, well, here's some extra zany people, let's like ham that up really hard, but like for what? Like why? And so, yeah, I mean, it's interesting and visually speaking, it's appealing, but I don't think I really gravitated with what whatever it might have been trying to say throughout the whole film.
It was a treat to watch, but it was like, why am I watching this? You know, I'm okay. I'm kind of following the story, but it's so convoluted and confusing. You know, which I mean was obviously done on purpose because it did its job. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? And then, like, but yeah, ultimately, why? Why am I watching this? Like, what am I following? Who am I supposed to be rooting for? Like, what's really going on here? You know, and you know, it kind of wraps it all up at the end. You know, but it's certainly not a happy ending, I guess. But then I'm still like, I don't know. It still leaves me wanting something. You know, and I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. I was waiting for that payoff. I was like, okay, now something's gonna happen. It's gonna kick into another gear. Now it's gonna kick into another gear. Okay, now it's gonna, and it never like does
lift off.
Yeah, we're still in the launch pad here, guys. Like, what really happened? So, man.
I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed by these guys' comments because, like, maybe it's not the destination, but the ride. I love the ride of this movie. Like I said, Tom got me into this flick when we were teenagers, and I've always, like, kind of gravitated towards movies like, for instance, like Pulp Fiction. You might want to give it, like, a second or a third watch to really, like, get exactly what's going on, because like there's time travel and like, you know, you don't like know what's happening at the beginning until the ending, and you're like, oh wait, maybe I need a refresher at the beginning. You know, as I'm getting older, I'm like kind of seeing the dynamic between Bruce Willis and Madeline Stowe, who is the psychiatrist in the flick. Where, like, I feel like their relationship is a lot more important than I thought it was in the beginning. Because for me, the first time I ever watched this, it was more about the time travel and trying to, like, figure out who exactly let this virus out. And it's kind of a bummer to see Bruce Willis kind of, like, basically, like, just beat this lady up a little bit, and it's like, but at the same time, that you kind of understand because, like, he is from the future and, like, knows, you know, what's gonna happen, but then she's kind of on board at the end, and, like, she kind of, like, is being crazy too, and, like, everybody's crazy, but it's because of all this trauma. Like, you know, all these people are gonna die. I don't know, like I said, it's a great ride, and if you go into it without expectations of where that ride is going, like where the destination is, like, I fucking love this movie, and it's a great ride. 10 out of 10 for me.
Whoa.
Damn.
Whoa. I feel kind of punched in the dick there with that last finale. 10 out of 10. Sheesh. And I can't blame you. I mean, that's how you feel. That is a solid review. Personally speaking, there are other movies in his career that I think are a lot more engaging. I love Tideland. I love The Fisher King with Robin Williams. And I feel like those movies, maybe they're a little bit better. With that being said, I can only give this maybe a solid 7 out of 10. BC.
Yeah, for me, I don't know if Rocket will be in the same camp as me, but I wasn't necessarily disappointed in the destination. It was kind of the whole journey for me. I don't know, there was nothing really for me to grab onto other than the visual style. And like, for a movie to be something that, like, I love dearly, I need something more than that. And so yeah, the story in general just didn't grip me, and yeah, I don't quite know how everything even ties together, you know, going from like extra crazy to, well, maybe they're not crazy, but here's like, there's really no way, there's no closure in this, but there's nothing in the journey, like throughout the whole journey either, that's like, I need to be invested in this. It's just kind of like, I feel like I I don't want to say I'm purposefully being like duped, but like they're like, here's all these crazy people, you're never gonna know what's really going on, and then here's this ending. I'm just like, well, thanks, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I don't think they knew what was going on, so I'm just like, I don't quite know where I'm supposed to like. I don't know what I was supposed to get out of this. So for me, I think that everyone involved did well, and it's really the story that's holding it back for me. So I'm gonna go with a 6 out of 10.
Not bad. Rocket?
You know, I will say, jeez, I need to breathe right there.
For this guy.
Oh, God. This movie does deserve a rewatch, you know, because it is kind of convoluted and confusing, and it's like, wait, no, let's go ahead and watch this again and take a look at it. So after one viewing, I'm only going to give it a 6 out of 10, but that could be amended with future viewings, and I am open to watching this again.
It's possible it's nostalgia for me. I don't know. Maybe just like hit right at the right moment
We
in
do
my life.
nostalgia stars here, so that's completely reasonable, my friend.
Yeah.
Totally.
So there you guys have it. That is our review of the movie 12 Monkeys. I hope it's been informative, motherfucks. Until the next time, tune in to Neon Trash. Bye.
You had to do the Brad Pitt finger.
I did.